Good karma, bad mom. Good karma, bad mom. Good karma, bad mom. Your new fave crew. Tell a friend, tune in, yeah, so they can listen to.
Hello, my name is Karma, and this is my mom, Taisha. We did the one thing that everybody says they're gonna do, but never does. Make a podcast.
And we did it, y'all. Welcome to Good Karma, Bad Mom, where we tackle everything. We're going to be talking about mental health, life's biggest dramas that we have going on, and our biggest what the fuck moments as well. And while we dive into some moments of seriousness, don't worry, we're going to be laughing through it all as well, because if you can't laugh at yourself in the down times, then come on now, what are we doing?
Yeah. If you're not laughing after you're crying, then did you even really cry?
Exactly. So let's dive right in. What's going to be our first topic for today?
Boys, past and present. Well, more of dating, past and present. I'll be getting into my mom's dating life and mine, and what it's like now having two good men.
Just even hearing you say that is just so like, I don't even know. So how it's going to work is I'm going to ask Karma 5 questions. She's going to ask me 5 questions. And buckle up, because I'm pretty confident that I've already heard her answer to my 5 questions, as I feel as if she's pretty much told me everything. But I'm excited to see if there's something that I haven't heard. And she talks a lot anyways and loves to talk, so I'm sure she'll have a spin on what she likes to say anyways.
And you're taking a diss at me, but talking's fun. But I'm excited to hear the answers to my questions, and just see what your life and your past was like.
Yeah, because we really didn't do much sharing of that. It's always been a one-way thing. So just to let everybody know, we did promise that we're just going to keep everything completely honest and open. So again, I'm sure that I've heard everything from her, and now you guys get to hear it, but it's definitely going to be...
I'm an open book, but with some chapters with her are closed off, so this is definitely exciting.
I'm the mom.
Yeah. Would you like to go first?
Yeah, my first question, let's hear it. My first question for you is going to be like, you're into the whole dating app? Well, okay.
I'm married now.
Oh, wow. What's the weirdest thing you've seen on dating apps?
Other than kids from my high school, I've seen a lot of really weird bios, or when you like swipe, I've gotten a lot. I remember one time I made it very clear I wasn't looking for anything sexual, but this guy, the things I would do to your like amazing body, first rip off. Or I've just seen a lot of really weird photos. I've seen a lot of
photos. Like photos of what? Like
just really weird poses. I've also seen a lot of like looking for a third. That always set me off. Like I'm actually.
But what app were you on?
I was on Tinder.
I was just about to say. Are you about to say that
I was on a lesbian one for a little bit.
Well, Tinder, of course, people are trying to be sexual.
I didn't want sex, and I mean,
I like go to the library.
Librarian girl. But I have had friends who they found a boyfriend for on Tinder.
Did you just say librarian girl?
Michael Jackson. It's a song.
It's Liberian girl.
So my question for you is, what was your experience on a dating app? What was that like for you?
Well,
and which one were you on?
As you know, I met my person on a dating app, Bumble. Mm-hmm. And how it was for me, actually, Auntie, she was the one that was trying to encourage me to get out there as far as like dating apps and just being out there just in this world of, I just wanted to like kind of have it be more organic and natural. But Auntie used to always be like, what do you think somebody's going to come knocking down your door? So as you know, my dating life wasn't really like, wow, from the mouth of babes. So I've tried Hinge.
Did you? I didn't like Hinge. The
setup. Well, Do tell.
Well, you know what's really scary is I had this one guy on Tinder. I'm gonna name drop.
I don't know if we should.
There was this one guy on Tinder, and he was weird. We went on like maybe 2 dates, and then I cut it off. And then I would see him on Hinge, and then one of my close friends would also keep popping up on her dating apps because she's on a couple. And it's just scary out here. But
it is scary.
It's just
I think my biggest thing was just always almost the same as you, like finding people that just want
genuine.
Well, no, just like more of a sexual interaction, and I'm not saying like right or wrong, but it also seems like it was a big player game. Like, okay, we could be messaging for 1 second, and then it's
Friends
like
with benefits was
crickets.
a really big thing.
Yeah, like nothing's happening. It's like, I'm not looking for a pen pal. Like, what's going on? Whenever it came to be like, oh, do you want to meet, or something of that relevancy to like, let's talk. What's going on? I could always tell when somebody had somebody because that would never happen. So
I've had a lot of guys like right off the rift after a day just be like, I love you. And when I shut it, I would shut it down quick. I'll never forget. He said it on the phone because they would always want to call. And he was like, I love you. And I was like, oh.
Oh, Colin, I got a couple voice notes.
I've heard some crazy ones from my friends. But I would be like, oh, I know. And then later on be like, oh, I really love this thing. Be like, it's good to know you can love things. Which is, I feel like, crazy. Why are we getting shady? But yeah.
Okay, well.
Did you have a good experience?
I said I met my mister.
Whenever any of my friends talk about dating apps, I always say Bumble. Because of you guys. So,
yeah.
Inspirations.
And I know some people that have really... found their person, actually. I mean, as we know, Auntie, she found her husband, and
she was on like Black Country Boys or something stupid like
was
that.
Not. You just make that up. She was on Meet Me.
Oh, she said it was like a black something.
No, because that was something that you always just like ran off with your young mind for some reason, and that was never
Have I said this before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You've even told people like, oh, they met on blackpeoplemeet.com, and that's like the furthest from the truth. But as you guys will see, Karma just loves to tell stories in her own way. And sometimes it's so factual, non-fictional, fictional. There we go. Doesn't even make any sense.
Do you have another question for me?
I do. Well, actually, what we were speaking about, just transitions.
Another question for me? Start from there.
Do you have another question for me?
I do. Something that you just said sparked like another question that I have. And I guess it would be like, how do you think dating has changed now with your age from, my age? Oh, because what do you, I mix it up all the time. What are you and then what am I? You're a...
young lady. Oh, a Gen Z and you're a millennial.
Right. I always mix that up.
Well, girl, first of all, it's not even like, I want to say like, oh, boys are players, but it's not even that. Everybody out here has the wrong intentions. It feels like I've had a lot of situationships, which that's new. I feel like that's one of my questions later on. Did you ever have any situationships? Was that what they were called? Or was it little flings?
They weren't called situationships.
Because I've had both flings and situationships, and there's a clear difference.
No, I think that they were just called, like, personally for me, it was like a roster.
Well, I never, a couple times in my life, I had an actual roster, but I can't. You've always tried to get me to talk to multiple people at once. I'm not for that.
I just think, personally, for me, and just like where we were, I just never wanted to...
put your eggs in all one basket.
No, not even that. I just, to bring somebody home, I have a young lady, a young girl at the house. It just never felt comfortable. So I wasn't looking for anything serious. It's like, okay, we could go get something to eat. We could hang out. So I just didn't want anybody to get too attached, and I didn't want to get too attached. So I just... I know that sounds horrible, but in my day, that's what it was called, a roster.
Well, people still use that term, but I think sometimes it's used in a wrong way. It's like, no.
I was gonna say, let's preface it, because not all rosters mean that somebody's.
I feel like you're just
with
playing
all
people.
These people.
Yeah,
I've been honest.
You've been honest?
Yeah, like if I'm
yes.
not gonna make somebody or have somebody think like, oh, you're the only person I'm talking to.
Yeah, because that's crazy.
No.
Because that's crazy. Just be upfront. I feel like.
But I feel like we're losing
Yes.
track of the question. The question was, what do you think has changed? And like,
Right.
do you feel as if you like dating? And this, this is all you know. I mean, you watch TV.
Yes, and well, I've always, not always, but I feel like I've always really wanted to just have someone. And so I've always been looking. So I feel like I don't know everything, but I feel like I know quite a bit about what the dating is like now, and it sucks. I truly found like 1 in a million, especially at Cobleskill, but it's just so quick, I feel like. And people really only have one thing on their mind, or they don't want to get to know you, and it's always, what's your favorite color? They'll barely get to know you, and then suddenly they're like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. It's like, first of all, that's crazy. They don't buy you flowers. They barely text you.
Well, I think then that hits on the topic of what we're talking about. So I feel like in my day when I was younger, and even before, like, it's the whole courtship, for use that term, and then I'm a big proponent of don't waste my time. Like, I need to know exactly what you want to do with my time, because that whole let's just hang out doesn't work for me. I'm a homebody.
Stupid.
I'm doing that right now. So I like to know how somebody's going to use my time, and that just helps me navigate, like, are you going to be, like, where you're at? Like, I'm not looking for somebody to spend, and not to be using present words. I wasn't looking for somebody to be like spending money on me in that fashion, because we could be, if we're going out, it could definitely be something that's like, okay, you're spending, I'm spending. But it also just seemed like you're trying to just like meet up and like try to get me over at your house, or can I come over your house? The answer is no. But I want to do something like,
right.
I was quick to, oh, you want to hang out? No. So I feel like even what I missed out on, well, I won't say missed out on, but was like even bigger, was people courting each other. And that probably happened like even more.
Well, I think my issue is I've seen To All the Boys I've Loved and like Kissing Booth. And I've seen so many like cute, and I've read so many cute little romance books. They're cute.
We're gonna save that for another episode, because that's a topic too when it comes to the books that she reads, because
they're not all raunchy.
When I tell you that they are, and some of the questions. But again, we're gonna save that for another episode, because definitely stay tuned, because that is something that our listeners are definitely gonna want to hear, is your love of books. Not even just the love of books. Yes, the love of smut books.
What did Rachel say in Friends? Was it even in Friends? There's a quote out somewhere in the world about books and how it's okay to read it. But no, I think that really, because I'm just like, romance. It, like, To All the Boys I've Loved, like, what was her name? Laura Jean. She was getting treated really cutely.
I could see that.
And I wanted to be treated cutely. I didn't want to be moving fast. And I wanted to be treated how I felt that I should be. And I also wanted you to meet my expectations but go above and beyond, which is what is happening right now, because my man treats me good.
Hey.
But
It's your turn for a question.
Yeah, do you have any crazy dating app stories? Or any dating stories in general?
I'm sure.
Because even if you found a good one, there's still the dating apps are crazy.
Yeah, the dating apps definitely are crazy.
Tinder or not.
There was no Tinder, but let me think. Because this was insane. We're not going to use any names, but I went out. I did physically go on a date with somebody. And I should have known from the beginning. I never forget it because the way that it started out as us meeting, it was through a dating app. But then the person asked if we could like Zoom.
Does you know that FaceTime exists?
So I was like, yeah, we could Zoom. And I never forget it because Auntie was here. And I don't know why. Just it being a Zoom, it automatically felt as if like a work thing.
Well, yeah.
There's like all my work meetings, everything is, you know, done by Zoom. So we're talking like through a Zoom app.
Yeah, that would be the first and last time.
And it wasn't. So it gets better from there. And the questions literally were like interview questions because Auntie, she was rolling. After she was done,
I would have to be muted the whole time.
Yeah, she was like, how was your interview? I was like, it felt like that, didn't it? So we actually met up. We met up over here at Jumpin' Jacks.
Oh.
And it was crazy because I remember just like some of the conversations that we were having. I even cut that short because I was like, yeah, I gotta go. Talking about, it was just to get it all out was just crazy because it was asking me like, oh, what type of ice cream do you like? What's your favorite ice cream? And I'm like, vanilla is my favorite ice cream.
Did you not like that answer?
No.
Oh, which is
Not at
such
all.
a good answer.
It was like, oh, so you're just gonna decide that you don't like any other ice cream? And let's break down the word decide. And see how similar it is to suicide? I was like, what?
Making that up?
No. It was like, how do you know that no other ice cream is your favorite if you're just automatically sticking to that? And I'm like, I know what I like. I love vanilla ice cream. Like, I could be with a million flavors and I'm going to think about them. But 9 times out of 10, I'm always going back to vanilla. I love it. No, it was like a talking to. Like, I felt like I was being scolded. And then the whole fact that he went on to how suicide is beside the end of the word. Yeah, I'm just eliminating everything. Like, that's how
words work.
That's how the whole interaction went. And I was just like, I gotta go. He's like, am I gonna see you again? No. No, it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me.
I've had some crazy date interactions, but thankfully none of them have scolded me.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, I was on a date right at Storied, which if you're in Scotia, go to Storied. It's good. But he was like, there was a hole in the table and he was like fingering the hole. It was so weird. And he had ice in his cup and he was like licking it. First date, by the way.
Oh, he was trying to get you hot.
Yes, and you made it very clear that like, don't get in his car, you're not allowed to. And he's like, do you want to go in my car? And I'm like,
oh,
no.
I know who this is.
Yep. And I was like, no, I don't. He's like, just call your mom. Like, she can meet me real quick, then we can go to... I'm like, no. And he also said some crazy... There was a second date, and...
Let's just take 1 second.
Because that... Yeah.
Let's take a moment, because I remember that very, very well. Yeah.
And I was...
You poor thing.
I know.
You was out here. Well, as my sister would say, sometimes you gotta kiss a couple of toads until you meet your Prince Charming.
My black king.
Okay.
Or my Jamaican mango.
Your Jamaican mango?
Yes. He actually came... Because I had a friend, and she vapes, geek bars, they're vapes. And there was a name, and it had mango on it, and she just so happens to be Mexican. So it was a funny interaction. And so she was like, are you thinking that this is my flavor because I'm Mexican? So that was her name in my phone. My boyfriend sees this, and he's like, why am I not your Jamaican mango?
I just think that is crazy that we're here in the world that you have a boyfriend. Yes. I mean, granted, you have been dating,
boyfriend.
And it's not even that. And when you did that's the part that's crazy because this when I saw you do that, just makes me think of, I don't know, maybe some activities that have been happening that you were so against. Oh, Mom, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to do those things. And I know it was part of your time to have another question, but I think our audience needs to know that little Miss Priss over here was, oh, I'm never going to have sex. I'm never doing this. I'm never doing that. And where are we now, Karma? Where are we now?
In the first episode's crazy. I don't know where we are now. I have no idea what you're talking about. Actually, I've never even kissed anyone.
Lies. Lies.
Never even held hands. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, somebody's out here now definitely exploring the world. And by the world, I mean her boyfriend's body.
Call me Dora the Explorer.
Ayúdame. Please. Ayúdame. I need help.
Oh, is that what the ayúdame?
Yeah.
Isn't this is help in sign language.
Okay, well, I just know my Dora Explorer because you were a Dora Explorer kid.
Diego. I had a crush on him.
I guess that's where it started. So even though she's going to be in complete denial, don't worry. I'm not going to let you guys miss out on it because, I'm going to bring it back up. We went from smut books, and we're going to dive back into that in another episode. But wait, there's more. Oh, all the stuff in these books and how you like to read these books, but it was still like, oh, I'm not even going to do that stuff. This is so gross. But you even wanted to tell me what was happening in these books, but you were so, oh, no, not me. And here we are.
My favorite saying was, sex is only good on paper.
That is what you would say. Mm-hmm. And then what would I say, though? I don't even remember. Oh, it's gonna happen.
Both you and Auntie. I remember the conversations we would have. And I would be so in denial. And you're just like, well, I hope it happens for you. And I'm just like,
I must say that I just love the way that
I tell you everything.
Yeah. For one, I truly do love the fact that you tell me everything, but I just love the way that it happened for you. I just love the way.
So sweet.
Yes, I just love I love even the cringe of it all. Like, not that you've had any cringy moments, but I have got to be honest, seeing how we said that we're going to be completely honest in the podcast, that as much as I love you telling me everything, sometimes I'm just like,
I can tell by your face.
In my inside,
I can tell by your face.
And I'm like, oh, I just got to smile through this because I always want you to know that you could come to me and tell me stuff, but it's still just like, you know, takes me back a little bit. But I just love that you're so comfortable and it makes me feel good that I've created a space that you're able to tell me everything.
Well, and you know what's crazy is I tell you the least amount of stuff.
In what way?
When it comes to sex.
Oh, like details?
Yes.
Well, that's fine.
Because
that's fine.
And the fact that I mean, I can understand that makes you cringe, but I try to give you the most basic level, but I don't have many people that I feel like I can genuinely talk to. I don't know where my glasses went. But it's just, you're easy to talk to, and I don't have many people where it feels as easy. Like we were talking about in the car. It's, granted, I know you're cringing a little bit, but with you and my friends in college, it doesn't feel like I'm telling you I just bombed the whole city.
Well, that, and like I've said when it came to you sharing certain moments that you've experienced with me, that not everything is for everybody. Like young ladies, especially. I mean, and young men as well too. But as much as you're having these experiences and you want to talk to somebody, sometimes you just can't open up to your friend in that nature or just somebody else, because as the conversations that we have,
ain't for everybody. Yeah. I can't tell those things to Auntie.
Well, and it's just that other people as well too, because then that promotes curiosity. The last thing that you want to do is to have somebody thinking about your man in any of those ways. So I've always been big on like, yeah, you're not getting those types of details. Even prior to when you wanted to, you know, talk about certain intimate parts of your partner, of your man, and I'm just like, no, you don't do that. Mm-hmm. You don't do that.
I've definitely there was a point in time where they would tell me things, so it feels like, well, now we're on a playing field, but then it's just like you sit back and then you really think of some things they did and you're just like, yeah, so I'm not gonna tell you that because you are really, well, one, you've already made a weird comment that I do not like. And it's not even me being a crazy girlfriend. It's just like, you don't say that about somebody else's man.
Exactly.
So it's like, well, now I'm not telling you anything.
See, because now some of these situations are coming to play of how, you know, you say something and it sparks curiosity, you know, and especially, you know, you just meet somebody, you think that you're friends, but sometimes people have ulterior motives and they're trying to...
Which is so hard to learn.
Yeah, you're sitting here and you're like super excited. I think it was easier for me to learn when I was younger because I was such a tomgirl. Like, I hung out with the boys and then, you know, growing up to teenagers, this or that, but I was big into just like...
Were you one of the guys?
Yes. And sometimes that would drive me crazy because sometimes so much so it's just like
they don't see you as a girl.
You do realize that there's a lady here, right? But I tell you what, that whole aspect, like I got to hear of some of the stuff that they would say about girls and everything, and I'm like,
yeah,
this is crazy. And how they perceive them and like some of the stuff that girls would do just to try to get noticed, and it's like they're sitting here making jokes about this.
Right. Well, also, it's just crazy when you realize that, like, they're so picky. I feel like I've met people in college where they're just so nitpicky about makeup, which I feel like is a little silly to me, because it'll be the most lightest amount of makeup and then they're just like, she was so pretty beforehand. I just feel like that's such a two-way street, because I can understand both sides, but it's also like, you sound silly. You sound a little silly, because she can take it right off, you know? But it just, you had to be there and you had to hear what was being said, because it's just so like, she's wearing lip gloss.
Oh, that would be, yeah.
She's wearing lip gloss and mascara. Calm down.
And I'm not a makeup girly at all, so...
But it's just, when you can tell when it's the most minimal amount of makeup. I can understand sometimes when it is caked on.
Well, plus, I've seen some of those TikTok videos where some of those girls be putting that makeup on and they like turn into somebody completely different. First of all,
those are funny.
That is
Asian makeup.
Crazy.
They do nose prosthetics and they do like this. So they'll have like a little moon face and then they'll turn into skinny. I need to learn their tricks.
Yeah, well, or even like people that have like no teeth or like crazy skin and then they do it.
Well, that's an art.
It's just like
that's cool. That's impressive when you can cover. I'm
not saying that it's not, but I mean that's catfish to the millionth
Thanks
power.
For your show, catfish. But I do have a question for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
How awkward.
Even though I know that you keep on skeeting around my question and my stuff. No, go ahead.
How awkward can a first kiss be for you? Because my first kiss with my boyfriend was it's so awkward. It was so awkward.
Well, the only first kiss that's coming to mind that I could think of is the first kiss that I've had with my now man. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't awkward. So at the beginning, it's funny because I was just thinking about this. I feel like he was such a cornball. Yeah, he was like the sweetest type of cornball, though. I remember I had a Band-Aid on my hand because I cut myself.
You should have got stitches.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Your insides were out.
Oh, yes, you remember that. Yes. And he said something like, so we could just rip the Band-Aid off. And I was just like, I mean, I really need it on there, but if you want to. And he was like, okay. And then he leaned in and gave me a kiss.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yeah, that was him ripping off the Band-Aid. So it wasn't like, it was cute. Like he
That's
was
cute.
like corny cute like that at
Yes,
the beginning. And like those types of moments definitely was like, oh.
My Black King.
Okay.
He's had
Rise up. Rise up.
Rise up. He's had some.
My Puerto Rican king.
My Jamaican mango. He's
Okay.
Jamaican. For a second, I had to think.
My Jatty bear.
Were you trying to one up me? I don't have
I just felt like we were.
Well, I don't
you
have
said
one.
Jamaican mango. That's
Well, because you said anywho, my first kiss, and honestly, it felt like it was a couple days in the working. We had for me and Ty. Are we named?
no name dropping.
It's just out of habit. For me and my boyfriend, I feel like we had a lot of things to thank for our chemistry blossoming. We had a friend that introduced us, and unfortunately,
First of all,
we had Fireball and edibles to thank because I don't
talking about
know.
Fireball and edibles, what your mom said right now is crazy.
Bringing up
And-
sex in the first episode's crazy. But I had a couple shots, and at this point we've already met, and we were already like, the first night we met we were cuddling, and which is crazy because I would never be that close to like, I feel that comfortable with a man like, and the first day like I've just
I remember these talks
Yes.
of you.
and we were just, if we were in the room together, we were near each other like, and I remember throughout we were
Karma, first you were in denial.
I was in denial,
it.
but I can now tell it. And in my mind, we were just friends.
Oh my goodness, that's all I heard. I'm like, Karma, that's all I heard was this boy's name. And then, it's not like that, Mom, we're just friends. I'm like, you like him. No, I don't. You like him. That's the only name I hear coming out your mouth.
Well, I think also this was the era where I just gave up on, because I've tried so many times and I never had a good experience with a man. And I knew that I already, like, had an interest in like women, so I was just like, okay, well then maybe I just don't like men. So it was also, I was just like, no, I don't really know, but
you like him now, don't you?
but I just remember the whole time I was a little tipsy, and I kept like, well, one, I had on his sweatshirt, and I was just like in his arms, and then I had a couple more shots too many. And then I think we went back to his room and we had a little intimate moment, not in a romantic way, but we were just opening up to each other. And I was just like, whoa, he was like never told that to anybody. It was just a really eye opener. And then for some reason I started playing Tony Braxton and I was getting really close to his face. Like I was about to kiss him. But I was his first kiss. So it was just like, but we were still in each other's arms, and then for the next couple of days we would literally be like cuddling face to face. And then for a while he just thought I didn't like him, so instead of
You didn't even know that.
so, and I was in his room daily, and we were having sleepovers
Daily. With the sleepovers, that's what's crazy. Calling me talking about,
I'm in his room,
yeah,
we're having a sleepover,
he just cuddled, like what?
we're just friends though. And
Hearing that was definitely like,
and I just could notice that,
and I was just like, not to cut you off, but it just brings me back in that moment, and I was just thinking about like birth control, and you're like, Mom, I'm not even gonna do anything. Ew, yuck, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm like, no, birth control, because things happen. You're close to somebody like that, things happen.
And
Still in denial.
and I just remember like noticing that he was no longer holding me when we were sleeping in the same room, and like we had sleepovers with my very close college friend, and I was in the middle. I remember trying to get close to him, and he wasn't holding me, which was very weird. So I remember this night I was high off my rocker because I accidentally took too much of my edible, but I only do it when I'm on my period, and so I was in pain, and normally I would go to my my old friend's room.
I would just like to say that I do not condone.
I don't either. But don't do drugs. I like stopped by her room, and normally I would stay and I'd just be like, blah, 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 oh, it was me. But I was like, hey, just want to say hi. I'm going to the I'm going to going to my man's room, going to over here, and she thought that was really weird. And I ended up like, he ended up putting a blanket over me. Mind you, we're still friends. Putting on Good Mythical Morning, a YouTube show he doesn't even like to watch, and he ends up like holding me, but he's still trying to be so like rigid with it. And I laid my head on his bicep, and I was just like all up on him. And then a couple days later, after that and the fireball, he like comes to me, and I think I brought it up because we were like in his room, and I was like, I want to kiss you. And then I immediately, because he was in my, like, he was laying his head on my lap. Because he was like, I always hold you, you never hold me, which is a crazy thing to say to your friend. And I just, like, remember being like, well, I want to kiss you. And then I completely ignored the whole topic. And then he's like, okay, well, once you put down that phone, I'm going to kiss you. And I never thought that he would initiate anything, so I did not put that phone down for a good, like, 10 minutes. And when it happened, it was just... It was, like, definitely a very much a first kiss, but I'm so glad it felt so as clumsy as it did. And I'm glad it wasn't, like, we're both pros at this, you know? And then for, like, the next month or so, whenever I would ask him, like, I'd be like, close your eyes before I kiss him. Because I couldn't just...
You that, like...
So it was... I feel like first kisses are just
It's
so
just
awkward.
crazy. How long have you guys been together?
Practically 6 months.
And it's just crazy because, like, 6 months... Like,
The time has flied. We've done every holiday together.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know him, but
right.
I feel like I'm getting to know him.
Right.
And I like the young man that he is, and I can tell that
he's a good man, Savannah.
He's a good egg. So, and it seems like you guys have almost been together longer than just...
Well, also,
not only that, because he's also here on, like, every break that you guys have had for, like, a week, 2 weeks, 3 days.
Especially now that I'm coming up here every weekend, is going to be feeling... Because I've tried to drag him down here this weekend. But, yeah, well, his parents were like, if it's a long break, you got to come up here. But do you have a question for me? Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Of course I do. Well, I feel like we have talked about so many different things already. And I know, like, our audience doesn't know everything that we have talked about, so it'll just be fresh for them as well too. So, okay, well, I got a fun one for you.
I was hoping you would skip. I was looking at one question that I wanted you to ask.
Oh, okay. Just give me a number so I can... You know what's funny is because that's...
The one you were going to do?
Yeah, but I was going to try to make it in, like, a fun way.
Oh, well, you do your thing. What was your little bit?
It was just going to be like, well, what's your biggest red flag when it comes to dating? But I feel like...
I have one. And I have a couple.
But is it relevant? Because I guess that was, like, some of what I was thinking as well, too. Like, the relevancy of it all. Because we're in such amazing places right now.
I think it's okay to talk about because I feel like my red flag is a little funny. It's a little silly. I have a couple, like, serious ones, but I do understand your point. I think if a man is super obsessed with the color red to where that's all he wears, all he talks about, and he just loves...
Sounds like he's a blood.
His walls are red, his rug's red, and it's just red.
Is this
red,
a real
red.
thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's a blood in a gang, girl. You about to date a gang member. What are you?
I've had a really bad experience with somebody that just, like, was obsessed with red.
Were they in a gang, though? Seriously.
I don't think the gang... Because don't you need to be able to run if you're in a gang? And he was really big.
I don't think that you need to run, but I think, like, people think sometimes that there's something that they're not. Mm-hmm. Girl...
No.
Did he think he was a gang? Did he say everything like blookies instead of chocolate chip cookies?
Safety. I'm a fought with you. That's the thing. I'm a fought with you.
I guess that's the new lingo.
Yeah, well, My Jamaican Mago taught me that.
What does it mean?
Like, I'm gonna see you.
Maybe he's in a gang. Seems like this
He's too sweet. He's too sweet. He's too broke. Don't they have money? Oh, that's drug dealers.
Damn, we're gonna edit that out because that was just diabolical.
They were in college with no jobs. Everybody's broke.
This is true.
Everybody's broke. It'd be crazy if I said he's rich.
Well, he's rich with love for you.
Rich with love. I'm rich in life with my love.
Okay. Okay. I'm about to start doing that. I'm rich in life with my love.
But I think it's coming to an end.
Oh, well, then thank you so much. We need all the help that we can get as well, too. And if you have any topics that you'd like to hear us talk about, any suggestions, just anything, we'd like to hear from you. And we have so many more stories to tell, and we just have a lot more topics as well, too, to hit on. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited.
We have some good ones I'm excited for. But absolutely.
And we have some, they're all good, but I'm truly excited to just jump into some of the, I'm not saying like this wasn't real, but we have, I feel like, some
hard
real
hitters.
Ones. Perfect. Some hard hitters that I think that our audience is definitely going to appreciate as well, too. The realness that we dive in and just how we're able to, as we mentioned earlier, not only be resilient from all those moments that we have, but definitely laugh about them as well, too. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely, I agree. And again, like she said, if you have any topics, feedback that you want to get back to us, you can reach us at Instagram and Facebook under our podcast name, Good Karma, Bad Mom. And just keep watching.
Yes. Well, that's it. So we would like to say,
keep it real.
Keep it honest.
Keep it honest. And keep watching.
And keep coming back. That's it.
That's all. Oh, what's that? Chicken.
It's like, bye.
Oh.
From Little Rascals.
Oh.
Good Karma, Bad Mom, your new fave crew. Tell a friend, tune in here so they can listen to. We get real, we heal, and start spilling some tea. 100% hard with a dose of comedy.